So, again, we are back here, main screen, all the information that we've got here. Full disclosure, I did try to get the mod set up for this, just so that I could get some extra levels, just in case I did want to play over some more stuff or dig into some more stuff. And the trouble is it just didn't work. So there's not going to be any mods in this stream, you know, as far as modded levels or modded anything else of that nature. And there probably will not be a modding stream unless I can figure that out at a later date. But, of course, that doesn't matter because we're going to dig straight into the levels for this character. So, I have 19 gold medals at this point. 8. No, that's... no. Because there's more levels for one than there is the other. I was about to say that's even, but it's totally not. You don't come to these streams for math.
Great! Let's go!
Great! So, like I said before, Silver is a character that I think a lot of people consider to be indicative of this game's poor quality. I mean, you get Sonic, who is very much like, he plays pretty much the same way that he always did. And obviously with Project 06 kind of tightening up a lot of his abilities, you know, that makes it so it's even better to play as Sonic, you know, and even easier to play as Sonic in that format. Shadow, I mean, we had the things that we talked about there, you know, his various levels of power, his various additional moves. But for the most part, you're still doing homing attacks, you're still doing, like, you know, the same kind of progression with him. It's just there's some extra little stuff in there that might prove to be a little bit challenging as far as somebody's kind of spatial ability to handle a level. See me getting run over by a train for, like, 10 seconds, you know, in the last play. But for Silver, he's got a completely different setup, and we'll dig into that as we go here. So, this is the most recent patch that was released for Project 06 by Chaos X, and one of the things that was kind of mainly focused on here was trying to have these opening cutscenes. There's quite a few of them in his specific campaign, starting out with that one, which is pretty unique, honestly. Like, literally, it's just, hey, you know, like, in addition to being able to kind of see some of the cool stuff that you have, you're also being able to get some extra little bits there, too. Oops. So that's going to be our first little thing there. So I've mentioned this before because you get to play as Silver in both of the other characters' campaigns before you start, giving you kind of a bit of an experience to kind of understand how his character plays before you have all the trouble, you know, trying to figure it out yourself here.
That road doesn't look too solid.
Oops. But even then, there's still a lot to try and figure out here when it comes to trying to make sure that you have a full understanding of how his stuff is going to work. Like, for an example, not getting hit with debris. So the main tenets of Silver's gameplay is that he has psychokinesis, he has the ability to move things with his mind, using his little green power here. Definitely different from most hedgehogs that people are familiar with. It also allows him to float and fly, which means that a lot of the, you know, kind of potential troubles that you would have when it comes down to progression are, depending on how you approach these things, either lessened or increased.
I can wipe them out if I hit that pipe right.
And of course, his power meter, which you may have seen for all the other characters, is much more localized towards his ability to fly, his ability to move things with his mind, and probably most importantly, his ability to grab things and move them. If you are holding something while you're moving around, you're not going to be able to, your meter won't recharge, basically. So you need to be careful if you're going to be carrying stuff, if you're going to be moving stuff around, not to put yourself in a position of something like that, for an example.
No!
Not actually something like that, but, you know. In the sense that when you are moving, you're going to have to... You know, your meter doesn't recharge if you're holding something. So if you do need to fly while you're holding something, or... Oh my goodness. Okay, we're starting that over. I'm not losing twice to the same trick and letting that go unanswered. So as we talked about last time, one of the key components of Silver's game, of this game's gameplay, is looping together, you know, holding as many rings as possible, and then looping together as many action chains as possible. You know, the higher score that you're able to get as you progress, the better your overall is going to be as you move through this. So trying to make sure that you can use that little sticky thing there. Oh, boy. Oh, oh, oh! Am I really? Let me turn my audio up. Hold on. Is it just me, or is it the game as well? Okay, cool, cool. But hello, Grambo. How are you? Hopefully you've been having a nice Sunday so far. Hopefully you're ready to experience the rebirth and the revival of Silver here. Oops.
You can use your power to grab the attacks of that flying monster and counterattack.
What the? See that? So, Grambo, so this is Sonic Project 06. So this is a Unity created, I hesitate to call it a mod, but it's basically a rebuild of Sonic 06 to make it so that the game handles better, it controls better, it's, you know, like, flaws are less prominent. There are still some issues with it at times, but overall it controls way better. Well, of course, I have to control a little bit better as I go. But so the whole thing with this game is that it's been released in stages since, I think, 2020. And most recently, the patch with Silver the Hedgehog, which allows you to play all of his levels with all of his characters, was released pretty late last year. Yes, so the story itself and cutscenes and stuff like that haven't been implemented yet. Next is apparently going to be the boss fights are going to be able to be made playable. So it's going to be one of those things where it's worked on in stages, and hopefully they will be able to get to all that other stuff as it gets to it. Basically from the ground up. I mean, this isn't based on the actual source. I mean, obviously it's based off of Sonic 06, but like, it's not built in that game. It's built in Unity. So they were able to, you know, bring the graphics up to parity. They were able to do a bunch of stuff with it as far as kind of like the way the game controls and the way the game feels. And also they've been able to add a few extra cutscenes, which actually we'll see one in a sec. You know, after I finish this level. It really is, and you know, it's one of those things where, like, obviously nobody's really caping for Sonic 06 like that, except I guess this team. So I mean, it's even more impressive to see them go out of their way to make the game this impressive. You know, to kind of come out and say, like, hey, you know, actually this game can be good, and there's a lot of stuff that we can do with it. And like I was saying before, I mean, you know, them getting to Silver's stuff here, I mean, Silver is probably the character that needed the most work, you know, the most reinvention for his concept. Because unlike with Sonic or with Shadow, you know, Sonic is basically the regular speed levels. Shadow is, you know, you're progressing, but like it's more combat focused and more kind of focused on you being able to navigate to the goal in different ways. Whereas with Silver, it's like there's so much of his specific campaign that relates around these kind of little combat areas. These little sections where you're using the psychokinesis, these sections where you're doing some extra stuff that makes it, you know, a little bit harder to kind of like reinvent. You know, you actually have to think. You can't just go, oh, here's some ideas from Sonic 06, here's some ideas from, you know, kind of the Sonic Adventure games, here's some ideas from Shadow the Hedgehog. You know, he's only in this game. He's only playable in this game. So anything you come up with either has to be unique to this game or has to be, like, new, you know? Shadow pretty much has the same amount of guns, honestly. He still has, you know, he has a glider in this game. He has stuff like that. Oh, I just noticed Chow Garden on that thing there. Pretty much all the same ideas, you know, from the original game. Like, they did give a lot of characters new moves. Most of them moves that they had in other games, but very much in name only. Oh yeah, but like, you're not doing all this, is what I mean. Like, if you were to, like, you look at, you know, Shadow. Shadow's been playable in a lot of games. Like, and playable in a way where you can actually kind of build stuff off of what he's doing and what the concept of his character is. Whereas, like, with Silver, this is the only game where you get to see his moves and get to do stuff with him. And because of that, there's a lot more you have to think out with what he's going to do. Speaking of what he's going to do, Blaze the cat is also playable in this game. Blaze is a character who was in the, what was it, the Naganuma games. What do you call it? The, I forget what those are called. They're the, games that were on the, DS. But, she also is a character who kind of needed a little bit extra thought brought into her. So you can see here, like, she has a homing dash that works a lot better than it did in the base game, a lot faster. Works pretty much like Sonic does. Which makes her really fun to play as, honestly. Especially in sequences like this. She has that, she has the spin as well that she did in the original, and she also has the ability to do a little quick hover to maintain her combo. Oh, whoops. I almost fell there trying to maintain my combo. Whoops. So the unique thing to this, by the way, Grambo, is that the way to get S ranks in this game has been increased slightly. Sonic Rush, that's it. That's it, Otaku.
I'll go on ahead.
Oh. So, as I was saying before, I bungled what will probably be my what it would probably been an S rank. The goal with Silver, or the goal with any character that you're playing as, is to chain attacks and to damage as many opponents as possible in order to maintain, yeah, like exactly like that. So great, you know, you want to try and get perfect, you want to try and get those things there. Pretty much the exact same as you would do in the Sonic Adventure games. They didn't actually have a attack scoring thing in that game. So that's another little increase that they provided here, which makes it easier for you to be able to play. In 06, I mean. Like, you get scored in Sonic 06, but, like, it's not as, like, the thought behind it is pretty nonsensical. And also, in addition as well, you aren't really given as much indication of what you're supposed to do there. Hello, Brodo. Yeah, this is, yeah, ground-up remake in Unity. Which basically means that they can do the stuff that's in the original game, but they can also add some extra stuff. Oh, whoops. Like, for example, this beam that I keep using and whiffing on is brand new. And that's an additional thing that allows you to fight people without having to worry about psychokinesis all the time.
Please, watch out for things flying out of the tornado.
What's also pretty unique to this, too, is that some of these lines that you're hearing are lines that were in the file for the game, but not actually in the game. And they were kind of just pulled together to be able to make sure that you could hear them. So there's a lot of stuff that was in this game or potentially available for it that, you know, honestly just was not pulled together in a way that could have been great. So the target score for an S rank is above 50,000 total. So if I get above 50,000, I'll know I have it. If I get below 50,000, I'll know for certain that I don't have it. And I got 43,000, which means I get a bit. That was easy, he says. So we will be back to that, but, you know, just for the sake of being able to progress through everything here, we'll go to the next level, Tropical Jungle. This had probably the most visually impressive opening cutscene that they developed. I think, like, this was something that was shared on Twitter pretty early on into this game's, you know, this mod's release. And this more than almost anything else was what sold people on the idea of this game actually being good. Because it's like all of a sudden, you know, you kind of like see like, oh wow, actually this is more than just we're making it run better, the load times aren't abysmal and awful. Yeah, they're actually putting a lot of effort into building it out. Yeah, and I gotta be honest, I'm pretty impressed with that too. Like, there's a lot of times where, you know, honestly, you know, you think about it, like, nobody expects anything from this game. Yes, they are. They're animating completely new, yeah. But, like, it's not like, what was that game? Sonic Omens or whatever? Which, was a fan game that was very well known for not all that much good, if I'm being honest. You know, basically, you know, they had, you know, a new voice, they had different voice actors, they had, like, completely new stuff like that. There have been things like, what do you call it, the Sonic Forces Overclocked, which has also done that too. But, you know, where they've had, you know, the base game, but they've had new voice actors to be able to do that, so it really is just all kind of working within the way that the game actually works, and that's pretty impressive. Like, this way you're able to kind of see, okay, like it adds to the idea of, hey, give this game 6 more months and it could have been good. Like, obviously, I don't think Team Sonic was ever going to consider putting in, like, random new cutscenes to, like, you know, do with this stuff. But, like, you know, hey, there's plenty of stuff that you can already see just with even the base game, you know, just how it looks and how it feels. That kind of makes everything work really well. Anyway, this Turtle on Rails segment here, kind of unique in that you are kind of just traveling around a bit. A little yeah, but I mean, it's like the thing with it is like, I personally believe that if they'd have delayed it and kind of just been able to kind of like perfect some of the optimization stuff, that's the main thing that would have been troubling to it. Obviously, nothing is fixing the story. Nothing is fixing how people feel about any of the other stuff about this game. But there's plenty to be done when it comes to, hey, here's, you know, just even the fact that, like, the game doesn't have a billion-year-long load times is, like, already enough for me. Also, I didn't say this before because I was kind of taking some time to set up, but this is my first time playing through all of Silver's levels in this game. So, like, I've mentioned that with Sonic, I pretty much kind of, like, I did his first level and then, like, you know, like, the city stuff that you do running around. With Shadow, I'd at least played the multiplayer stuff. With Silver, like, I didn't understand how to play him when I was a kid, when I originally played this game, you know, on, like, the demo trial that I did. So it pretty much was me just kind of being like, oh, hey, like, I'm sure that this game is fine, you know, all this type of stuff. And then, of course, you know, you play this kind of stuff, and it's just not, it's not well, you know, it's not well in the original. Oops. It did have some troubles, and that's why I'll agree with you when it's like, this game probably required more than 6 months, so to speak, but, like, I do think that, like, this game was way more on its way, you know, of being able to do some cool stuff than, like, a lot of people give it credit for. Like, I mentioned this in my last few streams, but, like, the fact that Team Sonic is still being asked about, oh, is Sonic gonna kiss a human in, you know, Sonic Frontiers? And literally they're just like, no, like, stop asking us about that. It's like, I don't know. I don't think this game was so bad that it deserved to poison the well for 15 years. Grambo, I don't think you realize that you just said I have a massive hose tallywhacker. What? Was that Grambo saying the troubles or something? I don't know. You would know better than me, Otaku. Anyway, this beam that I can use, by the way, I brought it up a few times. But it allows for a little bit of kind of interesting play. Oops. That is, if I don't do that. Allowing you to attack people and allowing you to weaken them slightly. Great! Because sometimes you may not have a thing. You know, like, that's the one tricky thing about a game with telekinesis. Is that if you play a game with telekinesis and there's nothing to throw at people, then it immediately becomes the worst game ever. So having something that you can, like, attack people with while you're traveling, like, immediately adds some additional stuff to be able to do with that. He is. His accent is very funny, honestly. It's like, it's really just kind of silly. Like, It's one of the reasons that I like Silver so much is because much like a lot of the other characters that I tend to like, he is just kind of a massive loser by, like, design. Like, I don't know if it was intended to make him just, like, the worst loser ever. But it definitely is, like, great! It definitely is one of those things where you're able to, you know, kind of see that, like, the sum of his parts make him kind of goofy. I remember a specific line in the game. Oh, see ya, Otaku. I remember a specific line in the game where he goes, "You're my friend, right?" And he sounds so pathetic when he says it.
That was easy.
So, I was told by a chatter in the past 2 streams that the S ranks are going to be harder for Silver, and boy howdy, are they going to be harder for Silver, based on what I'm doing here. Dusty Desert.
Just you wait, Iblis Trigger.
Iblis Trigger. Yeah, like, him saying it like that is kind of hilarious, too. So, a lot of people
Use my psychokinesis to grab that robot's bomb.
really hated this level in particular. Like, I would say that this in particular is the level where most people kind of tapped out of this game forever. And we'll dig into why in just a few moments. He's just goofy.
Each time you touch it, be careful, carry.
He's just silly with it. So this is bad game design original, like just the original game. You are supposed to whip your hand and play pool. And the balls in the original game did not work the way that they should have. In addition, all the balls have the same timer. So as a whole, experience-wise, not great, Bob. Yeah, one of those types of things where I feel like most people are familiar with how interestingly engineered this level is. This is probably like, if you've seen the Game Grumps playthroughs, you've probably seen this, or you've seen the, you know, like, nonsense of Knuckles not being able to, like, stop climbing, basically. Those would be your 2 experiences. Oh, wow. That was a funny... His hands ragdoll. Oops. Okay. That's what we wanted. This level was a little tricky to play with Shadow before, but luckily the hovering makes it a little bit easier. You remember when Game Grumps were well respected? Me neither. Yeah. The fact that Aaron Hansen was, like, a part of, like, something to do with Sega, and then he was like, yeah, hey, you know, they removed me, and I don't understand why. Yeah, I don't know why they would want to remove a guy who has no respect for the source material, or, you know, kind of, or also sucks as a person as well. That too. So, Amy in the original game was the worst character to play as. Her missions were stealth-based. She had a double jump where she literally could not move while she was double jumping. Like, literally, if you jump once, she'd do another jump that was awful. In this, she's Amy. In this, she can just hit them with the hammer. Yeah, faster and just overall well thought. Like, the biggest problem in the original game was just none of the characters felt like... None of the characters that you play as additionally felt like there was, like, stuff you needed to do. Like, it's just like, oh, these characters had the least amount of thought put into them. Whereas with this mode, it's like, oh, Like, there's clearly someone who's going and saying, what if these characters played like they did in previous games? What if these characters had just things that they do normally? And a lot of people say that, like, Amy's probably the character that they would want to play as more, you know, kind of like in the experience. Because honestly, like, you can see from me doing here, like, I am walloping these guys really quickly and getting pretty high combos as a result. The little slide alone, yeah. Her having a double jump that works functionally, which allows you to collect more rings. But yeah, so keep this in mind. Her original flowchart was you're supposed to stay invisible and move around enemies. Take them out guerrilla style. No. Why would I want to do that? Amy's a powerhouse. She's so cool. Like, being able to do the little bounce thing, like Tails as well, is pretty cool. Is that where? No, it's not. Cool.
Hey, how about going down? Now you can move on, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I'm not careful, I'll fall. Great!
Okay, so I think what we're about to do, guys, is we're about to come up on our first little upgrade here.
Useless while the shields are in place. Attack when the defenses are down.
Maybe I'm aiming the wrong way. Wait, no, this isn't. This is the right room. Yeah, this is the right room. So, they hid upgrades in the levels in this. The team behind Project 06 did. Key upgrades, which, much like the original Sonic Adventure-style games, allow you to have some cool stuff. Sonic has the most with the gem system that he has. You know, which one of them allows you to turn into Super Sonic, which is brand new for this. They also have a super mode for Shadow, which is available. I gotta be honest, I don't remember what Silver's is, but I know what some of his other abilities are. Oh wait, that's just a husk. I'm trying to throw nothing. What blood waffling about? So, maybe it's in here, actually. I think it's in here. Yes, it's in here.
These look like they're guarding our doors. Let's start by getting rid of them.
There we go.
Well, I guess that's done.
Alright. Now, before we dig into all that, let us collect ourselves an upgrade. So the upgrades are all pretty strategically hidden throughout most of the characters' levels. Silver has 3, Sonic has like 5 or 6, honestly. And then Shadow has 1. But once you've completed all S ranks, another upgrade shows up in the level. Something that will allow for people who are pretty patient and are pretty careful with these games to be able to truly get the full experience out of it, you know? So in order for me to collect this upgrade, I'm going to need to reach the... Oh, well, okay, that was easy. Never mind. The Lotus of Resilience, which allows me... So, you may have noticed Silver's regular jump is a little bad. So this allows me to land on enemies in a way that'll give me the opportunity to be able to bounce off of them, just like the other two hedge boys. The teleport dash, which is also something that you can use by quickly tapping the A button twice, lasts for much longer. Which means even if you have, like, you know, it'll take away more of your psychokinesis, but it allows you to progress through levels much, much quicker. Which, even though timing isn't really a major part of getting S ranks in this game, is probably still important. So now it's time for the puzzle that everyone hated in the original version of the game. Like, if we're talking about people, like, giving up, this is where the most people gave up. And we're about to see, we're about to find out. Yeah. Because in order to get, you have to bring this little thing all the way over to the end. And you have to do it without it landing in there, in a hole. And you have to do it within 9 slaps. You gotta slap it. Oh, wow. This is kind of weird. I don't want to do that. The good news is that with Silver's Blast, you get a little bit more strength behind your ability to kind of navigate these around. So you're not necessarily forced to kind of just slap it and go, oh, let's see how full strength slapping this makes it go. You are able to kind of think it out a bit more. That said, I am a little scared because I am running a bit low
I
here.
guess the lock will open if I put this ball in that hole over there.
Okay. Sweet. Way better.
Great!
Yay!
Great! So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, some of this stuff just was not functional in any way. Like, that Amy section, I want to play as Amy more. I want them to make more. I want them to make a level for Amy. Obviously, it's too early to consider doing, you know, kind of original content for this game, but that would be my suggestion.
Perfect!
Perfect! Goofball. That's our first S rank, the level that everyone hated the most in the original game. Let's keep it moving. White Acropolis. Eggman's base.
Eggman's base is ahead. Let's hurry.
And we're back with, Blaze. Oh, whoops. Ah. So what's really cool about Blaze, I think I mentioned this when I played before, is that she has a homing attack, but her tapping jump twice is allowing her to be able to do a little hover. And the way that things are scored in this game is when you land is when you get your point results. So you basically can stay in the air for as long as you need to be able to attack an entire room of enemies. Oh, that would have finished easier. Oops. Oh, God! I misread that completely. Blaze gets her own level in this game, so I'm kind of happy with that, honestly. Oops. Whoop. No idea what happened there.
Let's hurry.
All right.
Ah. Awesome.
You need to defeat all the enemies.
I said this in my first stream, but this game's music, pretty underrated, I can't lie. One of those types of things where, you know, obviously the sum of its parts, you know, this game being as difficult as it is, definitely hindered it in a lot of ways that would have been nice, you know? This game's legacy has been forever tarnished by the fact that it just, you know, had all that. Oh, that's it. Okay. Give me 1 second, folks. Be right back for just 1 second. Sorry about that. Right back into it. So my biggest problem is that I'm ignoring the fact that that's an on-rails segment, and it should be just an on-rails segment. So I will actually do the on-rails segment the way it's meant to be done. On rails. It's really nice that there's like no limitation for how you can hover as her. Like literally you can just, if you whiff something, if you whiff a hover, you can just hover again. Alright, let's do this right. I'm pretty sure you get points from the enemies that are knocked over with that. I remember that happening in Sonic's level. I might be wrong, but you know, I might also be right.
It seems those enemies are involved with that door somehow. In any case, let's try defeating them first.
So you can see like the perfect score and stuff like that. That's what you want to, that's the main driver behind your S rank. That's what's going to be the main driver behind your points.
Where is the entrance to Eggman's base?
You can use your psychokinesis to grab missiles and throw them back to make them explode near the enemy. Security's tight. You don't want to be discovered. Be careful.
It's funny how Blaze is like a non-canon character that they just were like, we don't really have to explain how she shows up in this universe, and then she never shows up like as like a main character again. Like, it can't be understated enough how not well thought out the plot of this game was in multiple different ways. And it was intended to be a, like, entire, like, reboot of, like, the Sonic lore, basically. Maybe not a reboot, but I'm trying to think of how you describe it. It's like, this is your new beginning of the plot, basically. Like a new #1 in a comic book. And then it was a new #1 in a comic book that got canceled, basically. So... Ah, come on.
If I use it, this snowball can be a weapon.
This is the part of White Acropolis that is always pretty unique. Generally, it's kind of your little sandbox to be able to accumulate points.
Psycho Shock works against groups of enemies and can paralyze them. If I can paralyze them, I can grab them all with my psychokinesis and throw them.
The vast majority of the hidden audio in this game, just of note, is largely stuff like, you know, the hint stuff and whatever. Which is true for a lot of Sonic games, honestly. But it does add a lot to kind of say, okay, like, you know, like, for people who are playing this game for the first time and do not understand how to play this character, here's how you're supposed to do it. We got it rocking now. Oops. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to take all of them out. Oh well. Let's keep it rocking. But it's nice that Psycho Shock is kind of like the importance to the flowchart is very impressed. You know, like you're like, oh, hey, this is like your main tool for being able to get like a score in this game. Landing between them, attacking them, and then being able to pull off the extra little bit of stuff that comes with it. That's always a bit of a weird level, honestly. Because you're left with a lot of time to build score, but, like, not a lot of rings, generally, from what I can recall. So this is going to be a bit of a toss-up for me. I can see myself going either way here. And it went the right way.
Perfect!
It went perfectly. Next is Radical Train. We are officially after the halfway point, which means if we're able to get S ranks on the rest of these levels, then we'll only have the 2 to go back to, and then the 1 bonus level to be able to make sure that we can get the final upgrade afterwards.
I'm not going to let the Iblis trigger get away!
Dude, read the room. So, for those of you who might not be familiar with this game, because I'm just kind of, like, laughing at bits in this game, you know, but, like, Silver's whole story is basically he thinks that Sonic is a bad
This
guy.
conveyor belt changes
And he thinks that Sonic is a bad guy because in the future, a dude who looks suspiciously like an old man Shadow told him he was a bad guy. And then he was like, wait, he's not a bad guy? And he's like, yeah, of course, I want you to kill Sonic on purpose, like, so that I could conquer the world better, dude, idiot. And he's just like, oh, he feels really bad about it, honestly. So, you know, not exactly the most auspicious of starts for a character who's meant to be your kind of like the new triumvirate of Sonic characters. Oh, speaking of not as an auspicious start. Oh, I didn't need to do that after all. Interesting.
This conveyor belt changes direction. I better be careful.
These conveyor belts, these rings. Oh. Not able to get those. Oh no, it's because I already had some. The trickiest enemies to catch in this game are the ones that are like that, where they're in the air.
There's no other way ahead. I guess I've got to break down the door.
The biggest trick I've personally found with this is that being able to take out large swaths of enemies in this is a little bit trickier than it is with the other characters. Because the other characters, I mean, you saw with Blaze how easy it is to kind of like just homing dash, homing dash, homing dash, and that's your main trick basically. Versus here, where the psychokinetic components are what you really need to focus on more.
I can't grab lasers with my psychokinesis. It looks like I can only avoid them.
Oh, lasers will kill me. I guess I just have to move out of the way. Oh, God. But yeah, it's clear that, like, in the base game and as a concept, the idea of having a character that is much more deliberately structured, the way that Silver is, you know, because you're not, you know, there's no way in anything that you're ever going to be like, oh no, Silver's whole, you're going to be playing through a Silver level and you're going to be speeding through, like, no, this is... No, I don't. I guess I don't. You're wrong, Silver. So it adds a bit of interesting complication to his, to the way that you're meant to play as him. But it's also probably one of the more difficult things to pull together as a result.
Great!
Also, this is the shortest version of Radical Train that's ever been. Honestly, I'm surprised at how short that was. I would also be surprised if I got an S rank there. Largely down to the fact of how that was structured. Traditionally, when I've gotten S ranks in this game, it has usually come down to me being able to go through an entire level without being hit as well. That's much easier to do, obviously, with Sonic and with Shadow, but I can still get an S rank regardless. This is what I experienced when I was playing as Shadow. I was like, oh, did I really do that right? Because I got hit, or, you know, I didn't move in the way that I should have, or, you know, with Sonic, like, I practiced the S ranks. You know, like, I redid the levels so many times that I could kind of practice, you know, kind of knowing here's where I'm going to be able to pull this off. So here, with me doing this for the first time and me doing these levels for the first time, I'm kind of like, well, the rings are probably the most important thing to collect, or this is probably the most important thing to do, and it turns out, at the end of the day, it's just play the game normally. Play the video game. Aquatic base.
A laboratory like this? Under Soliana?
So, originally, in Shadow's campaign, you do play this level in reverse. So you're playing it, and Shadow's like the character that you're playing as, and Silver's your buddy, so it's kind of the opposite. Oh, cool. Speaking of Shadow, I can kind of show off what he's got cooking. Maybe I don't. Oh, there we go. Yes. So, if you missed Shadow before, Shadow has the innate ability to gain some additional little powers based on the building of his skills, of his score details here. Oops. So if you're able to maintain this red state...
Shadow, I'll be looking out.
Well, never mind. I guess we're gonna swap between them a few times then. Interesting. That no-look psychokinesis. That's a little shame. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off. I can always come back. But yeah, the fact that every character in this game, like, feels different is probably one of the more unique aspects about this game. Like, Sonic Adventure 2, which is clearly more beloved than this one, than this particular game, has the pretty interesting state of where they have specific level types. And characters are prescribed specific level types. So Sonic and Shadow, they have a certain level type. Eggman and Tails have a certain level type. And, you know, Knuckles and Rouge have a certain level type as well. But in this game, the level types are just the characters, much like they were in the original Sonic Adventure. So you're left with a situation where it's like, well, you know, you kind of have, like, a collection of allies. You kind of have some other stuff where you can swap to them. But the idea is to learn... The idea of learning the type is made a little bit easier. Because, in theory, you'll have spent enough time with a specific character to be able to identify what they're supposed to be doing. Speaking of what we're supposed to be doing, there is another power-up for us. I believe it's this one. Oh. I'm gonna get this, and then I'm gonna circle back around. This way I don't have to navigate poorly. Oh, uh-oh. That could have been worrying. Perfect. Perfect! Get as much points as I can, get as much rings as I can. Get this little shield. And then it's a nice little puzzle to go through. This is my favorite song in the soundtrack, by the way, for anyone who's wondering. Great. The Flame of Control. So, the other ability was more about mobility and about kind of protection. So naturally, this is going to be more about attacking. You get a psychic knife that you can charge and attack with. Also, your dash takes up your full meter, so you don't have to stop and worry about flying in other ways. So overall, your best progression abilities are unlocked, and your best attack abilities are unlocked as well. Which should make getting S ranks a little bit easier, honestly. I think in this case, with Crisis City, there are a lot of enemies that are grouped together. And the knife allows you to cut through all of them, rather than doing the regular blast, which just, deals a little bit of damage, and, deals some stun, basically. So overall, I'm making pretty good time as far as the upgrades go. Obviously, the main thing after that will be making sure that I can get the S rank that I want to.
Those enemies look like they're guarding that door. Let's start by getting rid of them.
Speaking of which, just like that. So that is going to make things a lot easier. And again, one of those things that just wasn't in the original game. The idea of kind of the psychokinesis being your main component of your ability sounds great on paper. But the way to make enemies, which is your main thing that you're supposed to be worrying about with your psychokinesis, the way to make them grabbable is a little too involved. So in this way, it makes it a lot less involved. If you want to keep playing the game the normal way, you can. And obviously, if you want to do a little psychic knife, blow some stuff up, you can do that as well. Okay. So ring-wise, I think I'm doing pretty good. Ability-wise, we'll have to see. So about 9 minutes throughout the level so far. Oh, can't do the knife on the board. third-person action cameras. Always, always very, very interesting. Oh, great. So I'm curious, like, what would we define Silver's levels as being? I've kind of mentioned, like, before that Sonic is definitely the speed stuff. Shadow is definitely, I mean, yeah, Shadow is definitely more of a melee kind of brawler kind of envision thing. I mean, especially with the way some of his levels work towards the end there. You know, you kind of have more combat goals to complete before you have to do stuff. Silver, I don't know. Because you do have to fight stuff with Silver. But I don't know if I'd say that he's like a combat character in the same way that I'd say that like Shadow is. I mean, that said, you still have to kill things in order to get through the level, but you know. I think the good thing about this game in particular is that S ranks aren't guided by time, which is obviously something that like Sonic Frontiers focuses on. You know, time and the amount of collectibles that you get are big components of how you get your S ranks in that game. Versus here, it's very much based around, you know, how you're able to navigate through the level. You know, how many enemies you destroyed, how many rings you collected. Yeah, how much time that you spent kind of like actually investigating the level is a big component of that. And that kind of reinforces the adventure of it all, I guess. All right, 3 more levels, 3 more new levels to complete, and then we will be on to our final 2 S ranks, the very first level of the game, and the very second level of the game.
Sonic, we don't have time. Let's get to Elise right away. Leave it to me.
Leave it to him. Where'd he go? So, another new cutscene for this game. To mirror the cutscene that was created for Shadow Silver, I said every character but the one that was. Sonic's section, where he also goes, you know, to Silver. We gotta go, basically. It's a very good philosophy behind when they do these things. Let's get it moving. Kingdom Valley, of course, the first level that a lot of people are familiar with in relation to this game, this or Crisis City. I think Crisis City kind of had a little bit of a longer lasting legacy due to it being, you know, post-apocalyptic Sonic level. But this is definitely an extremely impressive stage, visually and kind of just like concept speed. What is going on? Good amount of points to be able to collect there. Oh, I thought they all died for a second there. I was like, wait a minute. Something tells me I don't think that was supposed to... Something tells me that wasn't supposed to happen like that. Yeah. I wonder why that even happened. Like... Maybe they blew it up on accident, and I was supposed to be able to go over there normally. I wouldn't know. I actually don't know this level from Silver's perspective at all. So.
I can manage this cage with my power.
So yeah, being able to group everyone together and then being able to damage them all at the same time, that is pretty key to Silver's gameplay. His flowchart. Oops. The main thing is, of course, making sure that you don't expose yourself in the process. What the heck? Oh, that's so weird. Okay. I don't know what was going on there. Sorry about that. Very strange. Oh, I see. They shot up there. No idea why they did that. That was what caused that strange rain of enemies there for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't think y'all are meant to be doing that. Oh, no, 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 no! Let's bust them. Let's just charge into it.
Man, the staircase is damaged. Now I'll have to use my power.
I love how he sounds so exasperated. Now I'll have to use my power.
I can manage this cage with my power.
I hate psychokinesis. It's ruining my life. That honestly should be like the Silver the Hedgehog-like pitch, basically. Because he's technically a freedom fighter. He's like, I never asked for... He's like the dude from Deus Ex. I never asked for these psychokinesis powers. I just wanted to hang out with my friends. I think one of the... that's actually kind of like canon, honestly, to a degree, because one of the things that, like, happens regularly in the IDW comics is Silver showing up from the future and being like, oh, like, he does the X-Men, he does the, like, X-Men animated series thing that Bishop did, where he's just like, yeah, no, I saved the world from this crazy threat, and then he goes back to the future, and the future's still messed up. And it's just like, yeah, well, what happened to the legacy virus? He's like, what do you mean legacy virus? We're having troubles because of That's not what's going on. This is what's going on. I feel like Doomed Future should have more plots that are just like that. Where, like, the person who's trying to save the past or trying to save the future from the past is just straight up like, dude, like, I have saved... Do you know how many times I've saved the future? Alright.
Great!
Great. At least he's got whimsy about it. Is that gonna count as me killing them? It should. Alright. Over we go. But yeah, I mean, obviously I'm playing this on reduced settings, so it streams well. But the reflections in this level look really impressive. The, like, overall kind of just craziness, you know, visually speaking, that you would want to see from a game like this. You know, it looks like a modern PC game. In all the ways that you want it to. And obviously you can pump those settings up crazy if you want to.
Wow! This building's crumbling!
Oh. That was probably supposed to result in me having things flying at me. It did not.
Let's clean up this trash!
Perfect. Oh, well, he flew a little bit further away. Almost perfect.
The pendulum could probably take out that tower.
What's also nice about this game is that they obviously have like different like assets to use for each character, but you can pretty much memorize like the layouts of these levels. And they feel familiar on playthrough. It's not like, oh, here's, you know, an entirely different version of this level that you can't prepare for, basically. So by the time you've reached this point, done all the town missions and all that other stuff, you probably will have a pretty good understanding of the game. For anyone who did play, you know, Sonic 06 and stayed with it by this point, you know. Which is very few people, I'm sure. I did mention, I think, that what is next planned for this game is that they are going to be digging into all the story stuff. Oh, I didn't do that at all. So, I mean, the boss stuff, sorry. The boss stuff is next. So I'm a little curious about what they do after that and what the plan for a full release of this mod is going to be. Because being able to do all of the cutscenes and being able to do all the other stuff is very, very ambitious. I wouldn't be surprised if the town missions kind of get left by the wayside. People were not huge fans of that in the base game regardless of whether it would result in sort of a complete experience, you know? Oh, he just took that to the face and then didn't move. Eggman's robots sure are strong. Nah, you're done. You've never been more done. Great. 100 rings. Oh, whoa. All right. Hello to you, too. I can't remember if this is like the first game that released where it's like, oh, you're gonna be able to play, like, you're gonna be able to get hit, but you're not gonna lose all of your rings on every single hit. It's definitely a unique way of doing things. happens. Not that it matters, because I ended up getting blown sky high regardless.
Darn it! I should have realized Eggman's scheme. I'll take it from here.
Back to Sonic. So, Sonic honestly does not play all that different than he does in the original game. Which is good in some ways, because it means that you kind of are just left with like a version of the character who has all the proper abilities necessary to be able to make things happen. Speaking of which, it's kind of fun that I could do this in a smaller section with them. But since I... Super Sonic! Oh, I forgot he had that dash, too.
Good job.
Good job. Oh, it's down there. Use that to get around. I feel like we're getting close. Oh no! Oh, that's gonna hurt me. That's like right at the end of the level, I was about to say. Oh my god. I'm tempted to restart, but I'll probably do that. I'll do that after I finish the next two. Since I'm this close to the end, like, it feels like I've been cheating. See, that's what I should have done. Bad point score and bad ring score to come. That's, sorry about that.
Sonic, leave this up to me. You go after me. Okay, let's do this. Great!
Great! Yeah, I feel like I was pretty close. I feel like I was in a pretty good spot to be able to succeed there. And, unfortunately, failing out there means...
That was easy.
That was easy. So we'll swing back to Kingdom Valley after we finish the next two levels. Flame Core is next. Taking this one off with Blaze.
The ground here is unstable with lava. It's probably because of heat.
Oh. What am I doing? We're doing it. We're making this happen.
I'll take care of this.
It's at least nice as well that each character gets like a different final level. I mean, I know that's kind of bare minimum stuff there, but you know. I'm not trying to praise the original version of the game as much as I am, but I can't help but doing so. I'm trying to enjoy it. Is there something up there? Maybe not. Oh, I need to jump. That was it.
Get out of my way.
Maybe I can put down right. Yeah, just like this. Or not. Oh! I don't know how I survived that. There we go. Yeah, this definitely helps me deal with bats a lot easier, to say the least. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Oh, these lights look super cool. Again, the fun of being able to do a rebuild like this is being able to kind of figure some of this stuff. Man, does it look cool. Oh no! No! Oh. It's okay. All smiles. I'm about to die. All smiles! I think I can start that one over. So after this level is over, we do have one more level to go. And that level is much like other characters in the game. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Nice. That real speedrunning tech right there. But much like other characters in the game, it's a level where you play as someone completely different. Which maybe it's because of my lack of experience with the other game, but it's the original version of the game. But is that, I'm guessing that that's like you can go to these areas and find that basically after the fact. You collect enough things, you play the game enough, and then you're able to go over and get that when you can, basically. I'm guessing, like, that would be where you're best equipped to be able to do some of the stuff that people, you know, like giving more levels to characters who've been recontextualized, have a little bit more going on for them. Oh, okay, that's stun. That's an electric. Don't know why I never knew that. Cool. All right, I think I'm gonna stun these guys in here. Knock them out. That's cool that it's like homing and also kind of positioned the way that it is. Like it flies out and then it seeks enemies afterwards. Again, always have fun to have new stuff in these types of releases, because then you're given a chance to kind of examine the thought process behind it, as well as how everything works. Oh, cool. So I just didn't fly high enough when I did that before, I think. The one time I used that slap the way it was supposed to be used, I guess. I am curious, like, now that I've kind of been playing this a bit, you know, I am curious about how trying to remake a Silver game, or trying to put Silver into a modern Sonic game would actually work now.
No matter how many of you come, it's a waste of time.
Like, I mean, obviously, the games don't play like this anymore. You know, we can talk about kind of Frontiers and Forces and all those kinds of more modern releases with the boost mechanics and stuff like that. But, like, if you were to go back and try and, like, figure out how to put these characters into these spots, how would you do it? Like, they've shown in the DLC for Frontiers that, you know, even with boost mechanics, you can still try and put these characters in and let them have unique stuff going on with them, let them do stuff that's like kind of particularly nice. Like, boost doesn't mean that you can't have extra playable characters. And Sonic's whole, you know, kind of concept shouldn't just be, you know, what people have kind of like put it as is, you know, gotta go fast, for example. Like, that's kind of become a little bit of a albatross around the franchise's neck. Because all of a sudden you're like, well, the whole franchise is about moving fast and not about platforming or not about kind of like intelligent game design and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you're not moving fast, then you're not playing a Sonic game. Ignoring the fact that, like, most of the early Sonic games were not just exclusively run in one direction and then call it a day. I think I have the point total to be able to make up for getting walloped by meteor rock over and over. Uh-huh. Because it is a little annoying when people are just like, oh, like, this isn't a Sonic game because you're not just moving forward in the same way. And because, you know, this is a game about moving forward, but there's, you know, navigation and travel and stuff like that. It's where the Sonic had a rough transition into 3D stuff in this one too. Even though he has multiple different games that are like highly acclaimed by people that are 3D games before this.
What is that thing?
So obviously we'll get there when we get there, but we're pretty close to where we should be seeing Silver's final upgrade as well.
Not now.
Oh. As I mentioned, the final upgrades only show up when you've gotten all the S ranks in the game. Which means, in order for me to be able to do what I can do, I need to be able to backtrack after all
What is
of
that
this.
thing?
But they have their own kind of unique unlock settings and unlock conditions as well. All of which will be fun to show off once we get there. Oh god. Bit of a tricky room, this.
Concentrate your power on the light, and it will show you the way. One over here. I don't know what he was talking about. I'm doing great. Usually when we're in these sections, we do swap to another character as well. To a Rouge or to a, Knuckles was also playable in one of these too. But I guess technically Silver would be the, oh.
Silver would be the character who has kind of the little extra ability there. You know, the unique talents, basically. So it ends up working out well. Oh, or maybe not. You do have to fight with the camera sometimes. I think that's the one thing in this game, but I feel like that's kind of just by design as well. Just, you know, these types of games, they have tricky cameras sometimes. Alright. We are here, and we are moving. Oh boy. Woo! You know, here's the good news, though. The good news is I'm beginning to understand how this level works. That's probably the only good news about this section, I'll be fully honest with you. Sadly, you can't counteract the fact that the game was designed for you to melee hit the little balls here. And that means you have to get, like, right up on them. But like I said, the good news is that I can clear out most of the enemies in these areas and not have to worry about them destroying what I'm putting together. One left. Oh, I see. Okay. That was what you were supposed to be doing with that. Oh no. You know, it's kind of good game design that, like, the lava doesn't, like, just kill you instantly. So I think this is where, or close-ish to where I would get my final upgrade when I'm playing the game normally. A little bit later. Oh, wow. Good. Good. That's going to make up for a lot of missed jumps, that's for sure. Here we go. That's it.
Is that the power of Iblis? It seems like the attacks come in regular intervals.
So this is where I would go to be able to get that once I've gotten the S rank. I'll have to come back to that later, of course.
I'll have to get closer and use my power directly.
like right at the end too, so this is probably not going to turn out well for me. As a result, I might replay this level a little bit sooner. Yeah, just to make up for just the overall damage that I've been taking here. Because I gotta be fully... Oh, please. Okay. Back on through.
What is that ball of flame? Is that the power of Iblis? It seems like the attacks come in regular intervals.
I don't know if this game would be able to do with a photo mode, but like, it'd be fun to see what they could do, what people could do with an in-game kind of like concept like that. Especially when visuals, it's not like the main thing that this game is touting, but like, it certainly is something that's like an aspect of the package, you know? It doesn't hurt to be able to have something that you can kind of promote like that. Just a little bit more. And that's it. Great. Where did Blaze go? Don't worry about it. So I think my biggest problem there, level-wise, was just...
That took too long.
Dying as much as I did. That took too long. Yeah, dying as much as I did was the main thing here. Anyway, it's Blaze time.
The Iblis is here. A blue hedgehog. Can it be true? I need to find Silver fast.
I think ironically, Wave Ocean's like the only level that Silver doesn't go to. Yeah, he doesn't go there, does he? Now that I'm thinking about it.
Whoa!
I think he's the one character that doesn't have like a level like in here at all.
There's a way up.
There we go. That's what we want every time. We want to be perfect every single time. It definitely helps, of course, to be able to have like the tools that you do to be able to maintain your altitude. Get tons of artistics, get tons of perfects. Oops. Get a few greats.
I'll take you all on.
Why do I have to play Sonic Adventure now?
Hey, are you trying to crash on purpose?
Don't think too hard about why the killer whales are, like, non-sentient, and the rest of the animals in the Sonic universe are, you know, sentient. Don't think too hard about it. Ever. Ever in your life. You know, considering how many appearances we have had from killer whales in Sonic Adventure style games, you know, there should absolutely be like a whale, you know, guy. Like, I know that Sonic games are, or Sonic media is kind of a little bit more guarded with, you know, the types of animals that it features. It would be nice, you know, considering. They've earned it. Oh, this is awesome. I think I nailed that, honestly. Blaze feels like a no-brainer to bring back for the Boost games, but I can understand.
Can't complain.
Can't complain. Why they might not want to do that. Okay, so now we have completed all of the individual levels in this game. And I think that the interesting thing that's going to follow this up is being able to... Oh, thanks for playing! Yeah, look at that! I didn't realize that they had a little thing like that at the end. I guess that's what happens when you get Blaze's one specifically, too. So we have 24 S ranks. I believe we have 4 more to go. That's right. So I am going to do my best to try and segment these off in ways that make sense. So I think I'm going to do Tropical Jungle. I think I'm going to do them in... I don't want to do them in reverse order because I don't want people to kind of see exactly what they just saw. But I think I'm going to start with Crisis City, then go Tropical Jungle, Flame Core, and then end with Kingdom Valley. Because Flame Core is where we are going to go for our little upgrade. And this way we can see the cool cutscenes again. I don't remember there being, like, lightning effects and stuff in the original version of this game, but that's a pretty nice touch, too. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'll leave that for once I've finished it properly. I was kind of like, maybe I'll do a retrospective of the game while I'm still trying to figure out how to get the S ranks in it. Probably not the best idea, because, you know, if it takes me another hour to get all the S ranks, then I'm gonna look kind of dumb.
That road doesn't look too solid.
Oh, come on. So, as I said before, the main things that are components to being able to get an S rank in this game is a high collection of rings and a high point score. Which means you pretty much have to go through most of the level without dying, if not all of the level without dying, in order to properly make your way forward. If you're unable to do that, then you're kind of left in a situation where you're going to mess up quite a few times. Oh, huh. You're not dead, are you? Oh, wow. Yeah, see, that psychic knife is really good for being able to deal a crazy amount of extra damage there. Just pushes them right off the level. Okay, here's where I had the most trouble starting my stream. You know, start as you mean to go on, of course. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to avoid the ball. I'm just going to progress. The amount of rings is just like, you know. Plenty more I could do there. Oh, huh.
If he dives underground, be careful. He'll suddenly burst out to attack.
Why am I over here again? There was like a one over here, I think, but yeah. Kinda screwed myself up a little bit there. Oh well. We move. I did add to my point score, which is important.
Don't get in my way.
When you break open that container, an intense light will be made. Use it to freeze the enemy.
Okay, so I just didn't get that little information there to be able to do that. Oh, there's a 1-up right at the beginning of the level. I forgot all about that. I don't remember if... Oh, I don't know if that will count towards my point score too much, but every little bit helps. Why I understand enemies is the main component. Just kill every enemy on the stage. Pretty much get this right. Can't ignore your ring score, of course. But it's always important to just, like, take them all out if you can. There we go. I was gonna carry them with me, but that probably wouldn't have been useful. It would be no use.
Leave this to me.
Please.
Blaze. Why does he always say their names like that?
Press the A button to perform an accelerator tornado. You can jump higher than
Oops.
I was able to maintain my combo for a lot longer before with that.
This is nowhere near over. Silver!
I'll go on ahead.
I keep getting tripped up. I keep thinking that that's an enemy.
Whole area is destroyed.
Hard to attack them like that when I'm slowed down an incline. Oh, okay, I could have just used that up there.
Watch out for things flying out of the tornado.
Ring total was maintained. Skill total was maintained. I think I did pretty good there. Yes!
Perfect!
This is gonna be easier than I thought, honestly. The knife definitely makes it a lot easier for me to be able to think my way out of some of those kind of trickier situations.
This looks so beautiful. It looks like this Lotus will help me jump, based on how long I charge my psychokinesis. Psychokinesis.
I love how it's Vulcan cannon. Like, no, it's a gun. They're shooting you, dude. Oops. This way.
Looks like I can use this to go up. Taking out its legs is terrifying. Then I can grab it with my psychokinesis.
Nah, I can just do the other thing.
I might be able to get around on this turtle.
Turtle time, once again.
This hanging ruin might be useful.
What do you mean, dude? That makes a huge difference as far as being able to do that. I think one of my bigger problems was just being able to damage enemies, but then not being able to finish the job with them.
This turtle is
Like that.
once you get it right. over.
Oh.
Is this for breaking walls? I might be able to knock down that fruit.
But yeah, in an area that has much more isolated regions like this, it's definitely it's definitely useful to be able to not have to rely on kind of like one bit of like psychokinesis detail or whatever to be able to kind of make your way through. Up we go. Over. Oh boy. I guess one benefit is that if you whiff jumps, it's not as painful. There we go. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the level, and my point total is pretty low, honestly. All things considered, I feel like it could be way higher. Rings are doing good. But yeah, I might just go down there and play around with those guys first. Just so I can balance out a little bit. I think like what I've been doing has been kind of just making like doing like the optimal path basically. Or an optimal path maybe. Oh, okay. I was like, what am I doing?
I wish I could go up.
Oh, cool. No. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's how you were supposed to do it, like normally. Under traditional circumstances. I think I'm in a good place to be able to finish the level out now.
Those enemies look like they're guarding that cage. It seems I'll need to defeat them first.
Oh, thank God. That would have been very embarrassing if I'd have died right there. Alright. Reset. Cultural reset.
Oh. Oh.
I've got to hurry. Great.
Okay. Oh, hello. Don't get crushed. What the heck was that? It didn't even go that far before. Oh, come on.
Looks like I'm on a roll.
Get it? He's on a roll. That's the first time I've ever gotten an A rank in this game, ever. I didn't think they existed.
This looks so beautiful.
Well, look, the good news
Looks
is,
like this lotus will help me jump.
I know for a
While I
fact
charge my
that
psychokinesis.
there's probably some more enemies around here that I can take out. I was very, very, very close to the S rank. Like, I think it was like,
Grab Vulcan cannon shots, but I can
400
charge my
points off?
psychokinesis.
Just about. So the main thing is just kind of seeking and destroying, you know, taking out whatever enemies I can find.
Looks like I can use this to go up.
Oh boy.
If you use your psychokinesis on the middle of the loft, it will move back and forth. Use it to destroy walls and roll balls.
Roll balls.
When both arms are on, I can attack it and knock it over. That's my chance to grab it with my psychokinesis. There's a bomb in that area. I need to be careful when opening it.
Down here.
You can hang on vines and swing on them. Jump when you see the butt glow. You should be able to jump higher.
Yeah, it looks like I was right on the money when it came down to the point total before. I think this is going to be a tricky level for you.
Kicking out its legs will paralyze it.
You're building
Then I can grab it with
combos.
my psychokinesis. I might be able to get around on this turtle.
Okay, so
This hanging ruin might be useful.
I need to find, like, a way of doing this. Because it's clear this level is meant to be kind of short. Oh no! Shot too many.
I might be able to get around on this turtle. It looks like this lotus will help me jump based on how long I charge my psychokinesis.
Yeah, I think that this is gonna be my biggest challenge of the bunch. Just straight up down to the fact that, like, enemy-wise,
Block them with my
I'm not really
psychokinesis.
seeing too many that I can reasonably fight.
Looks like I can use this
Oh.
to go up.
Weird.
If you use your psychokinesis on the middle of the loft, it will move back and forth. Use it to destroy walls and roll balls.
Why do you say roll balls like that?
When both arms are on, I can attack it and knock it over. That's my chance to grab it with my psychokinesis. come in that case. I need to be careful when opening.
Enemies down here.
Kicking out his legs is paralyzing. Then I can grab him with my telekinesis.
Oh boy. Well, that was unique. I don't think I've ever triggered that before.
I might be able to get around on this turtle. This hanging ruin might be useful.
So I'm thinking there might be some more enemies in this direction. What even was that, man? Why did it tell me to go that way? Looks like I don't have to worry about... Looks like I don't have to use the turtle to get around as much as I thought I did. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Yeah, I just was not seeing any of this stuff before, so it's already a good sign that we're able to move around and navigate a little bit better here. Hopefully I can increase my ring count a little bit more. And my point total, too.
I wish I could go up. The little skip that I usually use. Oh. Okay, points-wise, I'm doing pretty well now. But I'm honestly not going to take any chances. I'm just going to try and KO as many people as I can. Any enemies I can find are too many enemies. That's what I'm going to say. If I can take out the one giving orders, the rest of them will go down too.
That helps a ton. Okay, wow. There we go. I remember there being some enemies this way as well, so... Okay, cool. Those enemies there, which I remember. The trouble with this in particular is that I haven't really been able to get, like, combo streaks like before. And that's usually been my best indicator for whether I've been able, whether I will be able to get somewhere with this. So if I'm not really able to kind of identify if I'm, you know, moving through the level the way that I should, then I can't really identify if I'm close to an S rank. But also, maybe Team Sonic never wanted us to get an S rank in this game. I mean, in this level in particular. Maybe they were just on a different wavelength than people who wanted to succeed. Sigma developer grind set. Okay, cool. Now we can use this. We can use this.
Those enemies look like they're guarding that cave. It seems I'll need to defeat them first.
Okay. Surely now.
I've got to hurry. Great.
I spent a lot of time in this level, especially. Time's never been a major aspect of this. But that doesn't change it. That doesn't change that it would be helpful. Oh, you're kidding me!
Looks like I'm on a roll.
Wonder what I need. Okay, so time. If I had a better time there, then that would be the one component. Let's give that another shot. I said it might take me an hour to get all the S ranks, which is why. Looks like that's a self-fulfilling prophecy there. That's what we call that.
It looks like this.
But I'm still having a lot of fun with this,
based on
for
how long I
sure.
charge my psychokinesis.
Like, I am honestly over the moon at how well all of this has worked and how good all of this feels. Especially me playing it in sort of a non-standard way as well. For those who might not be aware of this, I am playing this through the Steam Deck. Have it installed through there. And that's been my primary way of kind of playing this game and what I'll primarily be playing most of my games through. So
This platform seems useful.
oh. This platform seems useful, and it wasn't.
Taking out its legs will paralyze it. Then I can grab it with my psychokinesis.
Oh, hold on.
Looks like I can use this to go up.
The main place of success that I've
When
been
both
finding
arms
here
are gone, I can attack it and knock it over. That's
has
my chance to
been
grab it with my psychokinesis.
coming down to
There's a bomb in that machine.
traveling as much as I have. So if I can navigate around this area and find all of the enemies I need to find, even without having to do the stuff I've been doing previously. That pretty much puts me in a good spot. Like, I'm trying to get greats, I'm trying to get artistics. I'm trying to pretty much maintain a good pace when it comes to destroying these guys.
This turtle is pretty useful once you get it right.
Oh, actually, I think that upper path was much more useful to me. That gave me a lot more beforehand. Gonna be hard to go back, unfortunately. I can always see about looping back around the other way. Those guys there. Rings here. There's enemies up top as well, so I'll need to have to keep that in consideration. And not do whatever it is I just did. No idea how I jumped that high. Or why I jumped that high, either. Okay, so before I kind of went backwards. And I collected the rings as I went. Yeah, you honestly can just shoot that off and it'll hit whatever's closest. Oh, no. Thought I hit him. Okay. So my ring total is going to be lowered significantly. That kind of sucks. All right.
If I can take out the one giving orders, the rest of it will go down too.
That's okay. A big portion of this as well is my point total. So as long as I'm able to maintain that, I'm good.
Yahoo!
Oh. But, you know, having a good portion of rings definitely didn't hurt me last time.
I wish I could go up.
I think I had like, what, 150? 150 just over, I think, was my score, my ring score last time. So, well, we ain't getting none of that, but, you know, we can get close, I'm sure. 35. Enemies down there. I'll get after them after here. So there's a... Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, that does give me points. I don't know why I thought it didn't.
Whenever I see the particles like fly around, it makes me think that there's enemies off in the distance. And it's like, yeah, I guess there were enemies off in the distance, you know? Okay. 88 rings. 2,270... Yeah, oh, sorry. 22,710 for my... Oh! We're coming back to that. We're coming back to that. I'll be back. Let's see. I'll do Flame Core next. Flame Core of these is probably going to be the most difficult.
Great! Let's go!
Because, much like with that level, there's a lot of trickier bits to it. This one's a lot longer, of course, so I could probably get a lot more points. But the thing is maintaining those points. And making sure that I'm actually kind of like moving the show. Last time I definitely was not doing any of that. So
The ground here is unstable with lava. It's probably because of him. I'll take care of this.
buddy, take care of what? He's like, I want a platform too. Like, okay. There we go. Loop them together properly.
Get out of my way.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, good. Okay. That just... Oh, okay. No. Blood had an epiphany. Blood thought he had an epiphany. I do love how, like, your friends can pick up rings even though they've fallen into the lava because they don't take lava damage.
Oh, come on.
No matter how many of you come, it's a waste of time.
Nope. Easy peasy.
You're not gonna get in my way, Iblis.
Oh. Ah, come on. Yeah, sadly I don't get the score if I'm not the one who kills. So that makes this section a little bit more painful. At least I don't have to worry about getting, like, dropped now, but rings-wise, I need to be careful. This was a spot that caused me a lot of headaches before.
What is that thing?
I always do that. There's like literally a thing right there that I can use, and then I always go, no, I can jump it. I can hit it. I think that actually killed me one time, like trying to do that, so shows what I know. That's what we wanted. Exactly like that. Secret.
Out of time.
Oh, what the hell? I don't even know how I took damage there. I landed away from him. Oh, well. No, I was like, oh my god, that would be the worst ever. I'm just gonna get you out of the way so that you can't kill me. I can't think of too many things I would dislike more than having to restart this level at this particular section of the level. Like, that in particular would be, like, painful. Good thing that there's, like, these little collections of rings in this level throughout it. Yeah, I wonder why, like, this level, like, ring-wise, is so thrift fair. Oh, what? What happened? Oh, no. I don't even know I got stuck there. That's weird. Sometimes I know exactly how I screw up, and then sometimes I just don't. And it's like, well, figure it out, like. So I don't need to slap those things at all.
Okay, let's move on.
At all. That's actually really great to know. Okay. Right at the end now. Sadly, not having the amount of rings that I'd like is definitely going to hurt me. Potentially. I actually don't know.
It seems like the attacks come in regular intervals. I'll have to get closer and use my power directly.
It's nice that it waits for me to get behind cover before it starts charging up. I appreciate it being so courteous to me. Okay, I've been able to maintain pretty much what I want to for this. So I think it's just all a matter of the luck of the die, luck of the draw.
Nice job.
Now all I have to do is take him down.
Good.
Oh, okay, so last time Blaze wasn't with me, but I think she just got caught in a